And Insight, women in the military. If you want to see the progress they've made, you only have to look at these recent examples. First, Captain Safia Ferozi. She is 26 years old and one of only 2 female pilots in the Afghan Air Force. The Afghan government is working to increase the number of women in the military to 10% over the next 7 years. And then there is Captain Katarzyna Mazurek. She is the first woman in history to command a Polish Navy warship. She's just one of 300 women who serve in the Polish Navy and 4,000 who serve in the Army. Other countries are reporting advances for women in the military. They're taking larger roles than ever before, including on the front lines. CCTV's Jim Spellman has insight.
The U.S. military stopped drafting soldiers in 1973 when the war in Vietnam was winding down. The U.S. now has an all-volunteer military, but young men are still required to register for the draft. And now the White House is voicing support for requiring young women to register for the draft.
The president does believe that the military is strongest when we draw from a pool of all eligible recruits, irrespective of gender.
A change in policy would require Congress to pass a law, and the incoming Trump administration could reverse course. So it's unclear what the end result might be. The shift comes a year after the U.S. opened all combat roles to women.
They'll be able to serve as Army Rangers and Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Marine Corps Infantry, Air Force parajumpers, and everything else that was previously open only to men.
Thousands of women served in the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
They're a little taken back and they almost don't believe that we're females.
And in many other countries, women are serving vital roles in the military. In China, these fighter jets are flown by female pilots, and women serve in many positions throughout the military. At least 15 countries allow women in combat. In Norway, women are now drafted into the military. At first, there was resistance from male soldiers, but the women have proven their worth alongside their male peers.
In some situations, for instance in operations, they have an advantage of having females that have access to parts of the population that men don't. For instance, in intelligence gathering, to be able to communicate with the female part of the society in parts of the world that we do operations. We are actually dependent on having female soldiers with us.
In Israel, female fighters serve side by side with their male counterparts in mixed gender battalions.
I wanted to be a fighter because this is the most significant duty there is, to take part in operational situations and events in the region, to know that you stand to do everything to protect and defend your country.
Women fighting alongside men on a battlefield that knows no gender, only duty. Jim Spellman, Washington.